Hey there, it's Trisha, and I want to go over the trades for Tuesday, August 4th. We use three setups if you include the range trade setup that we're willing to use off of three charts requiring confirmation from indicators before we ever take a trade. Makes for conservative way of trading, and you can check those out at www.easyminitrade.com. This is a trend line break trade that we took at 150, and when we get a close below the trend line or above a trend line, what I do is I will put my order in for half a point below that setup bar. This would be the setup bar. This is the bar that closed below the trend line. So I put my order in half a point below this bar. So entry was at 999.75, and initial stop is going to be half a point above that bar. And then as price starts to move, then we'll move our stop to half a point above this bar, half a point above this bar, etc. And so you could scale out in thirds. That's what we did. But I want to point out that we did know that this area was below us. This is our 50% retracement, and we know always ahead of time what is below us. So we knew going into this trade that we likely would have a stall in this area or a bounce in this area. So we took a third off. I took a third off at 0.75, a third at 1.75, and then the final third I moved my stop to be profitable in my final third at a point, because I knew that this area was below us and likely would not go much further than that, at least without a stall. And you wouldn't have gotten your +3 out of it. You could have managed it +1, +2, and then +1. But however you managed it, it worked out just fine. But the point I'm trying to make is that you need to be aware of what's below you and have realistic expectations, because you want it to be profitable in this trade. You don't want to let it turn against you. And if that's what you did, if you didn't have a tighter stop on it and took some off the table, then you would have lost it all. It would have bounced here and you would have lost it all. So that's why I choose to exit in thirds, but you certainly don't have to do that. It's just one management style, and of course there are many, but the fact that you need to be aware of where there are areas where you could run into a stall, I think, are pretty important, so you can make good decisions in your management. And when we do take a trend line break, we do require that our MACD be in line to take it. So this was perfect, so we took it. This one was after 3:30. I think this was closer to 3:45. So this was not something that I would have been interested in. But again, totally up to somebody if they're trading after 3:30. We didn't take any squeezes. There wasn't anything that was quality that I would have been willing to take where everything was in line. So nothing that we were willing to do there. So we waited a long time for that trade, and it worked out just fine. And if you'd like to check out our setups, you can go to www.easyminitrade.com.